Give us a countdown.
He did it.
I will chop it right at the very beginning of that. We'll just get right into the podcast.
I think I talked too much, and this time I didn't think so. So if you don't want to chop it, you don't have to.
Oh no, it's gone. No one's heard it. Don't worry. We're just gonna get right into it this week. Hey, no discredit to you, Taylor. It was beautiful stuff. We had a lot of fun trying to figure out both human names and dog names before this. Maybe we'll have to release it as like a uncut, uncensored before, I don't know, behind the scenes clip. But I think
have some bad guesses. You're right.
There were some really, really bad guesses. But yeah, that was fun though. It kind of gets us warmed up. Make sure our mics are working. But this is another fantasy football show presented by Sports Injury Central. I am Justin here with Jacob and Taylor. We're back again. Man, what week is it? I feel like it's flying by right now. We're about to head into week 6. Week 5 is officially in the books. I got that wrong last week. I think I got that right this week, right?
It's a week of buys that just sneaks up on me every year. I'm just like, oh God, I got buys.
I'm excited about it because it's less work for us. So I always get so excited for buys.
But fantasy, it's horrible.
Yes,
you're like, oh, I got to
make actual moves. From a work standpoint, love it. From a fantasy, we hate it. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I was looking at my lineup and I'm like, I got a couple players out, some pretty big names, and obviously we'll get into our dudes and duds leftovers this week.
Best offense of the NFL is not playing, unfortunately. Lions.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
no Josh or Jared, unfortunately.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to eat some crow about something I said last week, but we'll get to our dudes and duds segment here in a little bit. I don't eat crow. I mean, I feel like that you shouldn't actually eat those. I mean, like they're probably dirty, but
that's why you don't want to do it half the time.
So that's what I'm saying. Does anybody ever really want to eat crow? I don't think so. But
that's probably why it's a saying, because they don't want to eat crow. Yeah,
I feel like there's something more to it.
Something's adding up here.
No, can I tell you something from a historical standpoint?
It's about the plague.
Nope.
Oh, they do eat the.
No, they did. No,
during the plague.
It was kind of near that. That's why you were kind of close. No, when they did eat crow back in that time period. Black Death and stuff.
Well, there you go. All right, Sports Injury Central, SICScore.com. You're going to get all the injury analysis that we're applying here to fantasy football. We got some injuries, obviously some big ones that happened last week, and some that are kind of carrying over season long. But let's get to the injury rundown before we get into the other segments. Jacob, what the heck's happening? Who's still alive anymore?
It's tough. The running back landscape's getting tough. Rashaad Penny fractured ankle, fibula, I believe, so he's done for the season. Makes Kenneth Walker an immediate starter. Luckily, I have him in one league, but unfortunate for Penny after such a breakout game and then go down with that ankle injury. James Conner with the ribs was kind of weird. He kind of fell on the ball, it seemed like, and then came out of the game with ribs. I think we're expecting him to suit up this week, but if not, and maybe even so, it's Benjamin time in Arizona. I know he had a good game with Connor out before.
Darrell's out. Darrell Williams is out too, so it's the backfield's open.
So are we expecting James Conner not to play, or I mean, they're being really vague about what's going on. They've already, like you said, said Williams is not playing.
Well, so, if it's a rib issue, he doesn't like those. He's actually been on commenting and saying since the Tyrod issue, he's not comfortable taking a rib injection. So if it's just a small rib issue, he should be able to play through.
It didn't look that bad. It looked like he landed on the ball. It wasn't a helmet to the ribs or anything like that. But
if it is cartilage or something that he would need an injection, you should assume that he probably won't play.
So let's say Connor and Williams both out. You now have Benjamin. Is he just like a smash play against Seattle's horrible defense, or what?
I would assume so. Yeah, I mean, he's good in the run game. He's good in the pass game. I mean, there's going to be no one else there. Even the special teams guy behind him, Johnny Ward, I believe, he left the game too. He's literally a last man standing kind of situation for them.
All right, there it is. I actually picked him up in one of the leagues, and I'm like trying to find a way to squeeze him in my lineup because I feel like it's such a good play, but I have other good players, and I'm like, am I really going to start him over?
Yeah, you don't want to force it, but
I'm trying to force it. I'm trying to force it.
I can't think of a flex spot that he shouldn't be in really, unless you have a really solid team.
And like you said with Seattle too, Seattle can't stop you and me from running for a touchdown, so I would assume Eno has a good chance as well.
Tyreek Hill stepped on last week, left with the left foot injury, had a quad injury going in that looked like limited to his explosiveness early on. 7 catches, I think it was 44 yards, 47 yards. So that's definitely one to watch in the practice report this week. Chris Olave left with a concussion on that touchdown. He was kind of signaling touchdown as he was getting helped off. So
they gave it to him though, which is good. They didn't give it to Zach Miller before. You remember the Zach Miller injury? That was a touchdown I wanted to give to him from like my couch. But Olave, I'm glad that he signified that because it didn't look like he knew exactly where he was. I made a joke that he was at Ohio State, but either way, he looks as good as he is at Ohio State. So I'm upset that he probably isn't going to play this week.
Gotta hope he's back. I mean, Jameis Winston's back to practice, so we'll monitor his status. But it might be another Andy Dalton week. Remember, Winston's dealing with 3 things: it's the back, the knee, and the ankle. So hopefully one of those is better before the others, but all of them are not going to be good this week.
Well, yeah, Thomas and Landry said, I feel like we were so low on Thomas for the ankle, and I think it's just, I don't know what it is, but like, I don't know if he's ever going to get back to what he was, and it's unfortunate because it was really nice to see.
It's an ankle and now it's turf toe, so it's, I don't know if it's on the same leg, different legs, but
it was hamstring before too.
It's uncomfortable for him to run. You're getting up there in age and as far as wide receivers go, so encouraging to see him break out with those 2 touchdowns early in the first couple of weeks, but
yeah, he had a couple of weeks where you're like, all right, maybe we got something here. Like I was comfortable throwing him in the lineup, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's gone again. So that was
last week they had Kamara as their leading receiver, and if those guys can't get back, especially with no Olave, Kamara might have 200 yards. He had 91 last week, so you look for that.
Dalton Schultz re-aggravated his knee. He's going to be iffy for Sunday Night Football, but if he can go, decent matchup, I guess, against the Eagles. They're going to be throwing a lot, and he's the safety blanket for Cooper Rush. So.
I don't even think it matters. Yeah. I mean, since I've been high on, it's not about him. I've been high on him since, I mean, it's more of a Prescott thing. He hasn't been good since the PCL injury. It might even be tied back to when Prescott first got injured. He is not utilized by Rush. I mean, Rush only had 102 yards last week anyways. So that, I mean, people are trying to get this like convoluted idea that there's a quarterback battle. Cooper Rush is not a quarterback that Dallas wants long-term at all.
You can do it for 4 games. Your opponents aren't the best. Yeah.
I mean, Teddy did it when Breeze got hurt. If you have a solid backup that knows the system, he won all his games. You know, I think they're 4-1, something. So when Breeze came back, Saints were fine. So this is a situation. Don't hurt the situation. It's awesome that he won all these games without Dak. Now they're in a situation that they're 4-1 when they had only Dak for 1 game. It looks good. Now they're neck and neck with the Eagles, who are light years better than everybody like right now currently. So I think like, don't get too convoluted about the situation, but like right now, I don't think you can lean on anybody in that attack, including CeeDee Lamb probably.
I think everyone in the offense is waiting for the Dak comeback because Gallup and CeeDee Lamb just haven't had weeks with Cooper Rush. I mean,
they're stagnant. Yeah,
CeeDee Lamb had 100 and a touchdown, I think, the week before, but
he had to catch it with one hand, though. He had to do some acrobatics.
It's few and far between for that offense.
As someone who has Dalton Schultz, if you're with me and you're thinking like, okay, this week I'm going to keep checking for the injury updates to see if he's playing. Just stop, pivot now, find something else, and
why do that to yourself?
just wait it out. Keep him on your bench.
It's actually better. Just wait till Prescott gets back. So you'll probably either way. If it's like he has a game before Prescott gets back, you're still in a situation that they're kind of tied together in a way. Like especially fantasy production. There's no Schultz production, even with the PCL, even without the PCL. I think you just wait, like you said, play the waiting game with that.
Pat Freiermuth, another concussion. That's 3 in 2 years. Not a great sign for him. His availability is short term. That's usually maybe months sit out. We talked about it on Doc's podcast, but it's not a 1 week and you play type thing. It's a serious conversation about what's it's going to do to you when you come back and practice and all that stuff. So just rough to see for the guy.
Well, that's scary because like I remember when we do all this information data and we collect all these injuries, like there's some things that we remember, right? And I remember like when we were writing about him, I love Penn State. I know a lot of friends that went there. They're all the players they bring up are awesome. Jahan Dotson's looking good this year. So when we saw that concussion, I was like, shoot, that's 3. Yeah. Like I remember that from last year, and that's sad. Like the kid's very good. He was one of the top 3-round pick, tight end. He came out. He was behind Jazeki at Penn State, the Miami guy. So he's going to be good. He's a great receiver. He's a great blocker. He's so tough. So and he gets into the mucking area. So it's very unfortunate that he's dealing with this. But like you said, like this is something we need to watch because like we've talked about it on the Monday podcast with Doc. I believe like this is a certain point when you have this many in a short amount of time, you need to have a conversation with a bunch of people in your organization because this is about like your life too. Like, like your brain, you need to start having a health conversation. Like this isn't like, oh, let me clear concussion protocol and ready to suit up for you guys. It's like, no, let's have a little overarching conversation about what's going on.
Yeah, tight end landscape is usually one of the most banged up and thin too. So, but this year it's just been ridiculous. About what's on the waiver wire.
Tight end 3, Taysom Hill, right?
You're saying pivot from Dalton Schultz, and it's like pivot to what?
Anybody with a pulse at this point, take a shot, but just don't spend too much on it. Unless it's
Would you pick up Josh James, right? Like on yours?
Yeah, no, company league's a 14-teamer, but I'm going Jawan Johnson. Come on.
Woo. Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Taysom Hill doesn't break out for 1 million points again. But we'll see.
Yeah, he just might do it. I don't know. The guy's insane. But we'll get into that here, obviously, with our dudes and duds. Anything else on the injury rundown before we head into there?
Your boy Christian Watson pulled up with another hamstring, unfortunately. So it's just he can't get started in the offense.
And Kyle Pitts talking about hamstrings. He didn't return to practice today.
So that's a good sign. Yeah.
Is it though? Listen, now I have Pitts, and I'm like, my guy, I found, like, I have Njoku, and I'm like, I'm cool with just starting him.
I thought you were, definitely. No, that's definitely, I can't tell you not to do that. I just remember, I told you that stat. Remember when he finishes the year off well. So remember I thought you were back on the train. Yeah.
Oh, I'm on the train. I'm not getting rid of him. I don't want to move him, A, because you can't get anything for him. But B, I still have a little hope, but I don't. He's got to show me. I hope I would be so happy to see him explode on my bench before I put him in there. I wouldn't even be mad.
I just want him to score a touchdown in America. I feel like I'm waiting for something. Waiting for so long. Yeah.
All right, let's get into dudes and duds. I can't talk about Pitts anymore. It literally hurts too much.
It's painful.
All right.
Dudes and duds.
Okay, so you guys see this list, right? I know you can see what I put down there. Maybe I just started off because you're probably a little confused on why I put this player here, right? It's
he's the man. He's the man. I love him. So
right.
I love him.
That's fair. Yeah, Taylor, you're a Raiders fan. I have him on here for leagues who have kickers. I know a lot of them don't. People sometimes pivot away from. I think our work, the one league we're in right now, doesn't even deal with kickers.
If you're in a league with me, I might never put kickers. So yeah, I'm
just
sorry.
saying
they don't get enough credit.
Yeah, they can be fun. I
Justin Tucker is a league winner.
He really is.
He knows it. He knows it. He's the most cocky kicker I've ever seen in my life. But
I love
it. He hits everything.
Yeah.
I can turn away and no, he hits it. Yep.
It's like, sometimes like it's people can be cocky and you're like, please God, stop. Justin Tucker does it. He just looks cool. And he's a kicker.
He looks cool, and he knows. You know it.
Yeah, he backs it up every time. But speaking of kickers, I'm going with Daniel Carlson of the Raiders. I don't know if you guys have seen. I mean, Taylor, you probably haven't. Like I said, you're probably not in a lot of leagues with kickers. But if you've seen him, obviously on your team, the numbers this man's putting up from the kicker slot, we're talking like wide receiver 2 numbers,
double digits every time.
Like I pulled. So he was 3 for 3 on field goals last week, 2 for 2 extra points. But if you look, he's averaging out about 12 to 13 fantasy points, and you're getting that in your kicker slot. He's the kicker 1 on the season so far. Obviously,
and he's not kicking nothing, though. He's kicking 47, 50.
No, these are bangers.
These are bangers.
And you get a lot of leagues do like bonuses for longer kicks. If it's 40, 50 plus yards, you get a little extra.
Can I add a little flavor to your thing too? So he's a Raider great, so I obviously follow him maybe too much, like his family and stuff. His brother is a starting kicker for Auburn, and he's super good too. So there might be another Carlson coming up. But
that's what we need. We need a little kicker brother battle in the NFL. But
I kickers though. You got to pick an offense that's good to move the ball, but not get anywhere near the red zone.
Yes, it's a certain dynamic.
It's sweet right in the needle.
Yep, absolutely,
right in the sweet Raiders. So I looked up a couple wide receivers. He's got more fantasy points than Jamar Chase, DK Metcalf, and Mike Evans. It's disgusting.
We're awesome.
It's definitely awesome if you have him. You're getting that from your kicker slot, and he's got more points
this year.
Yeah, more points than Joe Mixon and Jonathan Taylor, who's been abysmal.
Wow.
But Taylor's missed some games, but Joe Mixon's played, right? Like
Chase has played every game. Yeah,
it's insane.
That's the one that surprises me. The Chase one.
I'm on the Carlson hype train now. I'm gonna
So listen, this is what I'm telling you. If you're in a league right now and no one's really rostering 2 kickers, they're on a bye week this week. He's getting dropped. If you can at the end of the week sneak him back into your lineup before he goes back on waivers, you got the kicker 1.
That's a great thought. He's on bye, so he's 100% probably going to be out there. That's interesting. You're dropping someone that's has more points than Chase, and no one cares. No, they might now. I agree.
There you go.
I was on a train for a different reason
this morning.
I was on the Raider kicker train. Now I'm just on the Carlson train. Just in general.
No, there you go.
I love it.
All right, on to skill position dudes. Ramondre Stevenson.
Hit him.
Sorry, Dylan. Daniel, whatever his name is.
Dylan. Disrespect.
Dylan Carlson. I'm thinking of baseball. Sorry.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Ramondre Stevenson, 25 carries for 161, 2 catches for 14. He finally got that backfield. I mean, Damian Harris pulled up with a hamstring semi-early in the game. I think it was second quarter. But Ramondre was just the man. He was stealing touches as the weeks have been going, and now he just took over. Damian Harris is limited in practice. Maybe he suits up this week, but probably limited snaps, probably limited effectiveness if he does play. So I love having Ramondre.
25 carries. That's awesome. That's not even with Harris. That's good. And I think too, some kind of correlates. I know Jones is, I don't think Jones is playing this week. And Zappi's been playing well enough that you don't need to force Jones to come back. If Zappi is playing again, Stevenson's going to do this again. We're not going to force feed Zappe to go down the field. He's doing enough. He's game manager and he's doing very well. He won a game. They shut out Detroit 29-0, I believe the score was. But this game should happen every week. Why wouldn't it? He's very good. He's so efficient. That was the one thing about I made him a sleeper on Fantasy Pros this year. He was like sleeper running back. Is that he didn't get a lot of touches. He was 1B to Harris last year, but remember we were waiting for the injury but his efficiency is insane. Like even the limited carries he gets, he would have like 8 carries for like 60 yards. Like, oh, why does he have 60 already? So like
he just runs angry. You just love to see that running back.
And he's a big boy. He takes contact. No, he's a great. And he's the one thing too is like without James White, pure strong, not making an impact, is that the catching ability. This was always the Harris problem too. He'll get 160 yards and maybe a touch, but it's like that's it. Like you want to get PPR help. So if he's getting just 2 catches, 14, that's you're adding to the 100 yards he might get every game. It's valuable.
Who's your dude?
My dude is Taysom Hill. I just love that. I don't even know where to play him at. I know he's a tight end 3, but there's some leagues that have him at QB still. Yep. Like there's so many different options. Anyways, 9 carries. Talk about efficiency.
The cheat code.
Yeah, 9 for 112 is insane. I know he had a 60-yard carry, but that's still like in 3 touchdowns. He had a passing touchdown as well, 22-yard passing touchdown.
His only throw of the day.
Yeah, only throw because he's like, I'm efficient. and then he 1 target, 1 catch, 10 yards.
Oh my God.
And that's a first down. So like everything he did changed the game. Yep. Like even like breathing, it was like, oh my God, that was the best breath of the game. So he's awesome. It was always a stigma that Sean Payton was the only one that could crack the cheat code. He obviously left the notes to Dennis Allen, and Dennis Allen just found him in Payton's office like last week because this is the first time he figured it out.
I mean, it was the Seahawks.
Yes, well, that's something too.
He's not going to do it every week.
Oh no, I'm not getting like dud for the year. But like no, this is a good move that he did. His touchdown was I believe he won the game, right?
Right.
So good for him. He's not going to do this, like you said, once Winston comes back and can throw 90 passes a game like he loves to do.
But whether generating offense with Kamara, he's going to be a compliment to that. Yeah.
And I don't know if we can tie the rib thing. Also, the one thing with Kamara, he's never been like, oh, I'm going to rush the ball 25 times. Like he gets like efficient 15 carries, but he's going to do the same. What he did this week is 9 catches, 90 yards, whatever. So they're going to keep on dinking and diming and figuring stuff out. But I mean, he did everything well. Like you said, I wouldn't expect this every week, but he's the tight end 3 in the league right now.
Right. And right now, obviously, waivers have already run by the time you're listening to this, but I'm sure somebody's picked up Taysom Hill because of the landscape being so gross out there. Like pretty much anybody who doesn't have Andrews or Travis Kelce. Honestly, I'm trying to throw another name in there. Like Goddard, you're probably okay, right? Like
I think Goddard's very good. He just doesn't get many touchdowns as the 2 people you named, but I think Goddard gets as many catches in offense as Andrews does.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, at this point, I'll take Taysom Hill roulette and see if that's his ceiling, and maybe that's a weak winner right there. So I'm okay with sliding Taysom Hill in there and just seeing what he does, right? Like, I mean, if he gets 3 fantasy points, you're like, same as all the other tight ends. Like
I remember last year there was like 1 week. It was before ESPN was able to change it, and it was when Breeze or 2 years ago someone got hurt. Breeze, I don't remember Breeze or Bridge. I don't know what it was. And he had tight end QB eligibility, and you could put he was the starting quarterback. He was the starting QB that week, and you could put him at tight end. And ESPN only had it for 1 week. And I lucky enough to do it because I had like 900 ESPN leagues, so one of them had Hill open.
Right, sure.
So I was like, I just wanted to do it, like I was just like, now that you can't do that anywhere now because they'll fight you for that. Yeah. That's like you said, Saints have cheat code. You're not allowed to have cheat code on your fantasy team, But like you said, tight end landscape is so crazy. Having him right now makes sense, regardless if it's just a boom week and that made him there. Still, you have the tight end 3.
Right. So speaking of tight ends, obviously we're now shifting into the duds. This is like a perennial, like tight ends in general should just be duds. I mean, I don't even think this needs.
He's a season dud, right? He's a season dud.
Who's that? I'm talking George Kittle right now. So far, that's that's my dud right now.
Yep.
And he had his best game of the season. He's only played 3 games. Best game of the season: 6 targets, 5 receptions, 47 yards, and a fumble. And that's his best game. We're talking.
I know you added the fumble in the best game. I like that.
Yeah, what I'm talking about. That's
You're
like
very spicy with you had a lot of time, and I didn't even see your homework this morning. So you must have done
this
right
now.
But I like it. Thought about it. He dreamed about it.
I like
it. This is a guy that you thought was going to be like a set it and forget it guy, and honestly, he got about 5 fantasy points if you're playing like half PPR.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good for tight ends, but not good enough for George Kittle
in the tight end landscape. Come on.
No,
by comparison,
right? No, it's just a draft capital thing, right? Like he's supposed to be a top 5 tight end, like 4, 5. I know that's low, like a number that you accept. Like Dawson Knox has that. We're going like crazy, but that's bad for a third rounder, maybe, is where you're taking
The only thing I'll say for his defense is the Trent Williams injury was huge for that whole offense, but him especially because they keep him in the chip so much. I mean, we saw that in the first game.
He did it
didn't
so
watch that
much in the
closely
first
against
game.
Carolina, but I'm sure he was in there a little bit more.
He still did it, yeah.
So once
Right.
Trent Williams is back, hopefully there's more time for Garoppolo. Hopefully Kittle can escape and not be on blocking duty.
Yeah, I'll say I'm definitely not giving up on Kittle, but it is like, again, it's another one of those things where you waited 2 weeks. He didn't even play the first 2 games, and then he finally comes back, and you're like, Kittle, please save my season. I would be excited
about 5 for 47, but the fumble really hurts.
But the fumble was what kind of took it down, right? If you take the fumble out, it's like, okay, I almost got double-digit fantasy points, which is, I guess, that's pretty good for a tight end nowadays if you're not Travis Kelce. So, yeah, that's my dud, and I think he's, like I said, he's still in the fringe where I feel like he could get back up to like a consistently at least double-digit fantasy points even without a touchdown. So we'll see how that progresses.
We'll see. I'm just so tired of tight ends.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I
don't know if I'm going to go there to the dud unless something really egregious happens. Like, it's got to be.
No, and I'm in a lot of tight end premium leagues, and I don't really understand that because I don't have anybody doing that. Like,
it makes Kelce, like Justin drafted him in our company league, drafted Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
And
no, luckily I've been like really high
code.
on David Njoku all year, including the offseason. So like I've been like kind of like if
You're
I didn't
getting
hit
something.
No,
He's
if I
been
didn't
the
hit the
real-
top, I didn't hit the
he's
top
been the
guy.
real value tight end.
Yes.
There's been no other ones.
But if no one else, if people were like unlike me, and were like, oh, I don't like him, then you have a bad tight end. Sorry, I kept the same voice. But
your Cole Kmet is not working out. But
no,
anyways, we'll move on to the next.
Is not working out.
My dud has been a dude for most of the season, but had a little dud of the game against Cardinals. I believe they played AJ Brown, 7 targets, 3 catches for 32 yards. Just not getting it done, especially because I have a Jalen Hurts and him stack, and it hurt.
It was a personal.
Yeah,
dud.
it was a personal dud. It was a
I get
personal. You let me down there, bud. Dud, you know.
Yeah, no, I get it. Especially Hurts didn't have a terrible game.
No.
So
he always going to get his rushing touchdowns. That's really it. But he's only in it for himself, man. You got to spread the wealth a little bit.
It's tough.
It's like that's
what made the stack tough.
You can't get mad at CeeDee Lamb last week when Cooper Rush was 100 yards. Like, and even CeeDee Lamb had like 60 of them, so he was trying.
So you're saying never get mad at AJ Brown because Jalen Hurts throwing him?
Well, you should.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Well, Devonta Smith was getting peppered pretty good that game. Though,
yeah,
so
he looks like he picks one, which is like weird.
Yeah.
He locks on one or the other, which is not great.
One of our early podcasts, we talked about if he could sustain both, and the answer is clearly no.
Doesn't feel like it.
He can't sustain.
He can sustain himself. He can sustain himself.
Yeah,
because he can rush
the
the touchdowns.
So,
Yeah. My dad is Joe Burrow. He sucks this year. Like 217.
He won me a league with that rushing touchdown. That was the only thing that saved his night.
Yeah, I'm not even writing that because I don't care about that. This is a really bad Ravens defense. I'm pretty sure we have stats to say they've given up the most passing yards in the NFL by like multiple, like hundreds, thousands, maybe.
Yeah.
I know Humphrey is back from his groin a little better. His PFF grade is insane, but is it real? Marcus Peters, he's not back yet. He may be at like 75, 80. He's got the quad now.
Yeah.
He's got the quad now. He's decent, so he's relying on talent. But it's like once you go inside of his hips, you can crush him. So I mean, that Burrow, I don't know. Offensive line looked it's getting better, but I'm worried about him.
T. Higgins really hurt.
T. Higgins hurt.
He looked gimpy last week. I mean, hopefully he's back this week. His ankle didn't look that serious, but I think that was a big part of it. I don't know.
Chase is weird. I don't know if he's like dominant when there's nobody there. I feel like he gets shut down easily, and I don't think we understand the importance of Higgins like as much as we should, maybe because like once you lock down on Chase, he looked like he was nothing. I mean, I don't know. Also, he's a very, very accurate quarterback. He had 11 incompletions. 217 yards is not great.
Bad pick to start second half too.
Horrible pick. So like, I don't even want to mention that he had a touchdown because who cares? This is a bad game.
Just a letdown year for him so far after last year. I mean, you could blame some of it on the offensive line, and Joni Williams was banged up during that game and came back MCL sprain. Possible. I think he said today that he dislocated his knee. So we'll see how that.
Doc always thought that was a little more.
Forward.
So that was good.
Forward,
but I don't know. I mean, like you said, it's very disappointing. I don't see any improvement from him yet, so he needs to figure it out. But right now, like you said, it's a down year for him, and like
him and the Bengals. The Bengals, like as a whole, there's really not a lot going on there.
Well, the one thing for me too, I know other one quarterback leagues, there's different rounds you pick, but in a Superflex league, I have seen, especially in even Scott Fish leagues, Joe Burrow is drafted in the first round. So you're getting this production from your first rounder. You're losing. So, and especially I know multiple people that did Joe Burrow in the first 8 picks, and they got the wrap around the snake, and they got Jamar Chase in the second. If you did both of those right now, it's not in it. Right now, I've done it a couple times, so I understand. But right now, it's not a good look for you guys, you Chase Burrow lovers.
Which, I guess, like you said, on paper, if you could just take last year's number and transfer it over, you're winning the league. But it's a different year, and I don't know what's going on over there. It's definitely really.
It's a capital thing too. I guarantee you, Burrow and Chase weren't drafted in the first like were this year. Like if that was a stack you had last year. That's why those stacks are valuable. Like
so got it late,
Kyler Murray, Marquise Brown's a pretty good one right now.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Goff, St. Brown was good for the first 4 weeks, before or 3 weeks for St. Brown had his injury.
Fine, so I'll talk about it. Jeez, all right. You twisted my arm. I know last week if you listened, right? So last week if you listened, I obviously crowned Goff dude of the year, right? And I was like, I don't even have to. I'm not even gonna go here anymore. He's just a perennial dude, right? And then he just dudded it up, bro. It was a dud fest. They got shut out. Like that's insane. I can't believe that. That's
a defense though. When I was like going through the teams and start the year, I was always like, "There's no names on this team." And I was talking to Doc. I was like, "There's all like older heads, like like older heads." I'm talking like very old like systematic players. They've been in the system for years. Yeah. That's what Belichick likes though. Besides, they're a bunch of no name like system guys like Lawrence Guy, Dietrich Wise, but then you got Matthew Judon. Elite talent, he just takes over every game. They just have a bunch of like dudes that understand Belichick's system. Duggar is a good safety. They have one of them. I believe one of the McCourties is still there. Has to be. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
but
they live there.
Yeah. So like one of them, either one was there. Yeah. So no, they have a very like defense that understands Belichick's whole entire concept, and they don't need to be talented guys. They have Jack Jones, the rookie they drafted. They have like 8 different guys with Jones' last name, I swear to God, but including Mac. But like Jack Jones is one of the top PFF cornerbacks in the league. He had the interception for a touchdown last week or the week before. Regardless, like they know how to draft. They know what their system needs, and they produce. And it didn't matter that they were maybe like a decent health or over health or not that healthy. They still know how to run their system regardless of the players that they have there. Which is
one thing I will say, I am doubling down. I still feel like the Lions are a really good offense, and I want a lot of the pieces.
I think you're right.
Offense,
I think that's
I feel like right now the bye window is wide open. Right? They just had the duddiest dud of ever, and they just rolled into a bye week. So
vacation. It's vacation.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But right now, like people who have them, they got a sour taste in their mouth, and they're looking at a lineup where they can't even play these players. You could probably scoop them up pretty low if you're in a position. If you're in a position where you don't necessarily like, you can take a hit, you can eat the bye week now. You could probably get at them at a decent deal. That's
like, if I'm a Swift owner, I'd be pissed right now, right? But then Swift has already said like 3 weeks. Sorry, so angry. 3 weeks ago, he already said he's not coming back till after the bye. So like you could like if you keep on week to week and you're like, man, I can get someone for Swift. I haven't had Swift for weeks, but like Swift's kind of come back. Like he literally said, the chances after the bye.
Right. So what I'm trying to do right now in one of my leagues, like I said, I'm trying to pull off 3 teams trades because you can do multi-team trades in Sleeper. I don't know if anyone's ever tried it, but I'm a psychopath, so I like to do it all the time.
You're not.
But I'm trying to. The Swift owner and the Jamal Williams owner are 2 different people. So right now I'm trying to make a package for both of them using both my players and their players to acquire both Swift and Williams. I don't know if I want
facilitating the whole thing in a way. That's hard.
100%. It's hard to do that. You're trying to communicate.
And you want one to start and one to be in your flex, like every week.
No, not even that. Listen, I don't want Swift without the insurance of Jamal Williams because they're both smashes when they're playing.
Correct.
Without the other
elite offensive line.
They get bad run defense.
So I want it. Like I said, I still want in on this offense. I still think they're really good. Obviously, I still think people who have Amon-Ra are probably clutching onto that because of what they saw in the first few weeks. They don't want to let that go, but. Swift, like you said, they're probably down on Swift. It's just if you want the insurance, you got to make sure it comes with the insurance. That's what I'm trying to do right now. So
right.
Well, I'll let you know how that plays out next week. So
next episode.
Yeah, let's get into the leftovers. Let me play this fancy intro, and then we'll get into it.
The leftovers.
Man, that sounds worse than I remember. It's been a couple weeks.
I got my beard stuck in the mic. That's why I like shook my head. I liked your thing. I just got it like stuck and I had to shake it off.
It slowed down. I almost fell asleep
or something.
Yeah.
I
just shaved my beard and it still got stuck in there.
So the leftovers, we've been doing this every week. If you've listened to the last couple weeks, you've found some studs in there. These are players that obviously the waivers have run. They're probably still sitting as a free agent. You can scoop them up for nothing. There's no competition for them.
Did you pick up Tupac Shaker?
I did not. I couldn't get him in a league anyway.
I didn't play him anywhere.
Khalil Shakir is what we're talking about. Sorry. Yeah.
So Taylor, you suggested Khalil Shakir last week. Obviously, Jamison Crowder gone for the foreseeable future.
Isaiah McKenzie was questionable with the concussion, but didn't come back.
Yeah, which McKenzie is back this week, so now we'll finally get to be able to see the dynamic between Shakir and McKenzie. I hope he leaves McKenzie alone because I do like McKenzie, and
it's going to be back to 1A, 1B. It's not going to be like I want it to be like make me right, like immediately. But like no,
he's good though. He looked good.
He's been good since he's at college. It's a matter of just like time. Crowder was already 100 years old. McKenzie's like he's a gadget player, unfortunately. But he's great on the red zone. Like when Renfro dekes people out, and that's what McKenzie can do in short space. But like consistently 5 catches, 45 yards, working them down the field. No, like Shakir, every single catch Shakir had was over 20. Like he's a downfield threat. Allen, you look at the way Allen's throwing right now. He ain't dunking and diming no more. The kid's elite now. He's pushing the ball down the field every single time he has the ball. Shakir fits that role. He was more like he needed to be more refined and understanding offense stuff. His route running is pretty decent, but it could be better. So he's kind of forced in. That's why Crowder was there, because it wasn't like they were going to get him regardless if McKenzie was there. It's getting Crowder was letting Shakir develop a little bit. But now that Crowder's out, it's going to be McKenzie and him. But you do a little end around and stuff with McKenzie, but Shakir's still getting his 20-yard catches down the field.
I feel like we need to work in somehow a Gabe Davis award.
Well,
pick each week just who's going to be able to do the most with the least catches. I mean, you had Gabe Davis. What is it?
He had two for 168 at one.
Yeah, like
it's like come on,
3 catches, 2 touchdowns for like 168. I think De'Ami Brown was like 2 catches for 105 and 2 touchdowns.
Don't look at Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams' stat line. Dude only had 3 catches. Like he was in the same category, right? So. Again, he's somebody that I keep talking about, and I know that we're outside of the podcast.
I get upset when I talk about him because, like, why are you trying to get my guy in trouble? Why are you trying to get him in trouble, dude? It pisses me off.
No, I'm not trying to push him around or to the ground or anything. I'm just saying what I'm really trying to do is trying to figure out what his value is right now, because I'm not saying I'm.
Feels like it's fading, but it shouldn't be.
I don't want to say I'm scared of him. I don't want to say I'm scared because it is now. It sucks that it kind of bumped into a bye week right now because it's a bye week for the Raiders. Right. So, but the push thing also kind of does. Like, is he gonna get suspended? Do you think that's gonna happen?
No, he's gonna get fined.
Okay,
which is fine. I didn't mean to rhyme there.
Yeah, that's fine.
But
can't rhyme the same word with the same word. But
I mean, I've seen different.
Some rappers do it.
Yes, they do. Some rappers don't, which is an issue. Yeah. No, he's gonna be fine. The 3 catches is weird. I agree, but the thing is though, for me, it's a problem with that offense. Thank God Jacobs has figured it out. I don't even still think they take the 5th-year option, but good for him that he's trying to figure it out. I appreciate it. I have his jersey at home, so I need that gain value.
You can wear it right now. This season, you can wear it. You're good.
I literally saw it in my my closet, and I was like, wow, I think I have a year to, and it's like okay to wear it. Yeah. So like I'm like I should do it now. No, I think there's no 2 there. I know Renfro's really good, but I need like another guy there, like even like a Watkins. I'll take just to like take some. Adams is getting too much attention, and he's too good now. Like even in Green Bay, there's a couple.
I can't even name the 3rd receiver on your team.
Yeah.
Not Waller. Outside of Waller, who's the 3rd guy that gets catches?
I don't even know.
Brandon Bolden.
I thought we were talking about your boy Hollins. What's going on with him?
He's the special teams guy.
Mac?
No, you guys saw that one game where he had 100 yards and it was like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
No, he's the special teams captain. Do you remember that one play he had like a game ago where he ran down, he saved the ball from going out of bounds?
Yeah.
That's Matt Collins.
That's
Matt Collins.
That's usually his highlights.
Like, yeah. So I know we're trying to like feed him to, but like he dropped 3 balls or 2 balls last game. That's us for trying too hard. Like I remember last year we had Zay Jones. I would love to have Zay Jones back in because he's a pure receiver.
You don't even have Brian Edwards anymore.
Yeah, I don't want to. But like at least he, like you said, but at least he's like still someone you have to cover, and he's like semi decent threat. I'm trying to like be nice to him. I can't.
I'm gonna need to like find that out who that 3rd guy is for you guys.
It's Matt Collins. No, it's Matt Collins.
It's got to be Matt Collins. That's
Matt Collins
for
sure. But that's the thing though. It became him, and it was somebody else before.
Like who was it supposed to be? did they go in the year thinking like this is gonna be Matt Collins?
It was like they were trying to like figure it out.
Yeah.
Like I know it's my team and I should know, but I don't want to know, honestly.
Yeah.
We're too in the weeds.
So yeah, we've gone into the Raiders. Obviously, the only reason you talked about Gabe Davis, I talked about Devontae Adams because the stat lines are kind of similar. It's not a lot of catches. I have Devontae Adams in a league, and I'm
Keelan Cole. Sorry,
that's who it is.
Okay.
And we just got Albert Wilson the other day. They're all the same. They're nothing. So we'll figure it out.
I'm trying to see what I can get for Devontae Adams. That's where I'm at. That's my position. I love him. Obviously, I'm a Packers fan. I love the guy. Derek Carr's not Aaron Rodgers. So
you're one of those guys that,
he's not.
He goes on a bye and then I'm done with him.
No, see, that's the thing. That's what sucks is that's working against me is the bye week and this little shove controversy is working against me because that stat line on paper looks amazing. He had a great fantasy game. I'm trying to sell because I just don't think the volume's there.
Elite fantasy game.
Oh, it was elite. I just don't think, even if Derek Carr says, I'm going to try to do what Aaron Rodgers did and pepper him with 12 targets a game, Derek Carr targets aren't Aaron Rodgers targets. So
he already did that. He does that.
Yeah.
He had 17 targets the first week. Trust me. That thought process. Yeah. It's easy. Throw to my best receiver.
Yeah.
Like it's not like a hard process. Like you said, no, they're not Rodgers. Rodgers is throwing back shoulder, like behind his head, handstand, reading a book, and getting that weird tattoo all at the same time. That's all. Yeah. So like, no, I understand that it's not that, but I just think there's not you had like even Tanyan took attention sometimes. Like I just like now there's no Waller. I think it's like you said, we didn't even talk about this. This is gonna be worse for your Adams trade too. There's too much attention on Adams now. Even Waller hasn't even been the man yet.
And now he's got a hamstring.
Yeah, and Moreau's hurt, so you're on the third guy. So like him and Foster are decent together. One's a great blocker. It allows Waller to go around the field and receive like crazy. But now you have those two dynamics out. It's worse for Adams, I think. You can double cover him, and then, Matt Collins beat me. He did 1 out of 5 games this year. So,
right, but everyone who's in my league, don't listen to this podcast. Let me offload him real quick before.
For sure.
Thanks, appreciate you. So anyway, back to the leftovers. We haven't even touched yet. They're just getting cold on
They're
our
getting
plate.
so cold. They're so cold right now.
I don't even want to eat it.
Jacob, let's
talk about it,
run
Mom.
it down.
All right, go to the first one, the Seahawks guy.
Yeah, DJ Dallas. He's gonna get the passing work in that offense.
Strictly, that's it.
That's it. That's the only value he has. But it might be a decent value because Ken Walker is not doing that. He's an every down back. Besides that, I mean, they're going to love him a lot and use him in the pass game a little bit, but DJ Dallas is definitely going to work in key situations.
No, that's the thing. Pass pro, Dallas is very good at, so he'll be there for the pass catching downs. Walker is good at catching and is really good at rushing, but like you said, he's going to be not out there for the pass catching downs because Dallas is more elite at that. So that limits his usage. Now you just need like a Damian Harris day. They need 100 and a touch every single game. And the way Seahawks are down in games a lot, I don't care if they're scoring or not. Walker needs to get a lot of these long runs that Penny was getting, and Walker's not as dynamic, so I know Walker will be a good move. People are always going crazy for him. You have him, he's going to get volume, but Dallas in just a straight PPR, if he does like McKissick every week and gets us like 8 to 10 points a week, that's valuable.
He has that ceiling, definitely.
Yeah.
I want to see if Justin agrees with this next leftover you brought up. PJ Walker, 4% owned.
Woo! I mean, listen, what league? I mean, if we're talking Superflex,
QB1 XFL Houston, okay?
If we're talking Superflex, sure, consider it. But if this is a 1 QB league, you'd look anywhere
if
else.
You're down to PJ Walker,
no,
just like
bro.
Go take a walk outside, do something else.
Roughnecks All-Star, guys, come on. Yeah,
you got to find a way to put Taysom Hill in there again. Write a letter to your fantasy provider and try to get Taysom Hill in there.
That's better time spent than picking up PJ Walker.
Well, like you said, Superflex though, he's an option. I mean, probably not play a quarterback this week for you.
Against the Rams.
But I mean, if there's a situation where you got like Derek Carr in a bye and you
it is bye week and quarterback's extremely thin. You're not going Bailey Zappi.
There are people. I mean, maybe
Taylor is, but you might be
zapped. I don't know.
There's going to be people though that didn't draft correctly through bye and have 2 quarterbacks on bye this week. So they're definitely going to be like looking at Walker as an option. I've done that in the past. Like everybody's, when we drafted, we're like, oh my God, this guy's good, this guy's good, this guy good. And we're like, oh, they're all week 6. Shoot, you know what I mean? But
I will say one thing. I don't think he's good at football, but there is at least. Matt Rule just got fired. They're probably a little jazzed up there in the Panthers. I mean, like I think everybody there, like that game that's
first
like
quarter
all right.
line. I'll just tell you like betting advice. I know this is fantasy. Sorry, Justin, but like the way to hit that is the first quarter. They're going to be all over the Rams first quarter.
Jazz.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's a real thing. Like Matt Rule.
That is real. Because they hated
depressing.
him. Because they hated him. If they loved him like a Tomlin, then you'd be like, oh man, we lost Tomlin. But Rule, they're like, it doesn't matter. Steve Weiss, he's a good guy. Like they've had him there, it's fine. But like it didn't matter if like Mayfield was the head coach. They're gonna go crazy in the first quarter. Even you can send that to the first half maybe because the Rams have some issues on their line. So we'll go. That's another topic.
Yeah,
but
I think they're definitely gonna want to make.
They're
gonna want to make Matt Rule cry into his stack of $40 million.
I'm so mad because he's not. Can I tell you the two top college football coaches that are available right now? Urban Meyer and Matt Rule, and it's not even up for debate. There's not even other like a third or fourth. Those are the two top options, and everybody wants them. Yeah. And that's that's what we live. That's what we live.
People still want Urban Meyer. I mean, like I get it, college, sure, but
college,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Anywhere Urban Meyer goes in college, it comes a powerhouse right after. Yep. He knows how to recruit. He's creepily good at it.
Yeah.
So yes. Yeah. He's hands on with the way he's his approach.
There was a quote from PJ Walker. Somebody asked him, "What's he going to do?" Obviously, no Baker Mayfield. He's playing. He said he's just going to get the ball to his stars, bro. So I would expect
like a game-winning. That's DJ Moore. CMC dump off passes.
CMC is going to have he's going to feast this week. He won't like the carries probably. I mean, they're going to stack the box against him, but I think the dump offs are going to be
Adams
there.
Target share though, right?
He's going to catch 10 balls, bro. He's going to catch 10 balls this week. We'll come back and we'll check it, but I think he's
Walker
catch
doesn't have a great arm, and when he does have a great arm, it becomes an INT. So we got to just dump it off.
Play it safe. Yep. He wants to keep that job.
But like DJ Moore though. Get him because he might have like 10 catches, but like he'll yak it out.
It's gonna change. It's gonna change without Rule. I mean, even with Mayfield back without Rule, I feel like there's still gonna be a shift. Like you said, I don't know. It's gonna change, but it's not. They're not gonna magically become a really good football team.
But it can't get worse
if their
for the
offense,
Panthers.
Yeah, if their offense can get just a slightly more dynamic.
Can I tell you my hot take?
That's
I think
fine.
so. They're actually going to become a really good place for a head coach. You're going to have one of the top. You're going to have one of the top players. You have one of the top players in the league. You're gonna I know you guys want them to win out, but the smart move is to get the number 1 pick, which is they're very close to getting right now. So you get that right now. You have CMC first round pick. You can maneuver a quarterback. Maybe Mayfield probably shouldn't be, but like maybe if you're good enough, you could think about doing something. I wouldn't, but like first round pick will probably be used towards the quarterback. Yeah. But that team, their defense is not horrible. Stephon Gilmore's there, right? He's on the Colts. No, he was. J.C. Horn and Dante Jackson are good. Yep. Shaq Thompson, Brian Burns, good at rushing the passer. Derek Brown's very good defensive tackle. Sean Payton should go there. And I think why not?
Exciting.
So Kamara is CMC. He can utilize him like that. You get the first round pick, and you also give him control because that's the kind of guy.
Yeah,
but
I don't think they're a bad team. Their defense isn't even that bad either. It's really
that's the thing. That's the one thing that other teams, when you get like a good offensive team, you're like, shoot, I got to build the defense and I got to fix the offense. They don't need to do that over there. They just need to fix offense. Yeah, DJ Moore, come on. They have pieces.
Do it for DJ Moore's sake.
Yeah. I would like to apologize to everybody that we talked about the Panthers for about 10 minutes.
That was a hot take added for no reason. Yeah, sorry.
That was wild. So let's finish up these leftovers
and hot takes.
Yeah, let's finish up the leftovers and keep it moving here. So what do we got next?
Tevin Coleman has emerged as the pass catcher in the Niners offense.
And Marlon Mack was just put back to the P squad, if not released. So that means, Coleman's been there. That runs
where did he come from? I had no idea he was
on the Jets.
That's my team too.
Yeah, no, it's on here. Oh. Well, they're just getting. Remember, I told you everybody that goes on the practice squad now. I think they're awesome because we're older now. So like when we see like Philip Lindsay's and stuff, we're like, holy crap, he's on the practice squad. But it's like, yeah, because he sucks. Or he's not as good as he used to be. So like when you see like the Marlon Max and stuff, I always kind of scoop those up because I'm just thinking like name brands and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, what
if I told you Tevin Coleman kind of looked good at football, though?
He looked very good at football.
He looked pretty good at football.
And I'll tell you the one thing. The run scheme that he ran with the Niners when he was there is the same exact run scheme now. On top, I know Trent Williams wasn't there, but when he gets back, he'll have Trent Williams too. So this is not just a play for now because I know there's no Mitchell. You're not taking Jeff Wilson's job. But the one thing we always knew about this job, that's why Wilson was a play. They run 2 to 3 all the time. So
even when Mitchell comes back, it's still going to be
Tevin Coleman. Wilson and Mitchell and a little bit of Coleman because Coleman's very good at receiving the ball as well. So you have Coleman's just going to be. That's an option right there. He was really good. He's always been good as a B too. He was a B with Freeman in Atlanta. He knows how to be. He doesn't need to be the secondary dude. And he's good. He's juiced up. He's ready to go back on a team that knows how to run block. So. We'll see how it gets affected when Davis Price comes back. But the last leftover is Randall Cobb Forgot about him. Actually,
You did, yeah.
For Davis Price, forgot about him.
Yeah.
Oh,
I forgot about Randall Cobb too. But he had a heck of a game against the Giants. I mean, I know it's the Giants. Their defense is actually looking better. Their secondary is a little weak spot, but Randall Cobb might be the guy. I think we see who Aaron Rodgers made his decision. He was trying to find someone to trust.
It's like The Bachelor. Like he's been trying to find his dude, and like he finally did.
Literally what you're playing in fantasy football. It's trying to start a Packer is just like,
is it Watson?
Who's Aaron Rodgers giving the rose to?
Thank God Sammy Watkins got eliminated. So so that was good. So there's no rose for Watkins, right?
Christian Watson, nope.
Allen Lazard automatically gets a rose.
Yeah.
Because he's
Lazard's locked in. Like
he's locked in.
He could be good for a touchdown every week. Like you know what I mean? Like it's very like expected.
He's in the final 2 already. Right. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
So the next one up, as a Packers fan, I think it's Dobbs, and it's not close. I know that what Randall Cobb did right now, sure, on paper it looks good. Lots of targets. It's something's got to change right now. The Packers just lost, right? They're not. You're not going to win Pepper and Randall Cobb with 12 targets or whatever.
Why not?
10 plus
Why
targets.
not? You're looking for sustainable Dobbs touchdowns, though. I think Dobbs is like I think
he's the boomer bust guy. Randall Cobb's the volume, safe play. He's not going to get 18 points, but he's not going to get under 4, under 5.
So Aaron Rodgers, obviously you saw it all last year where he just locks in.
We have to listen to him. He's a Packers fan.
I'm just saying. Like I hear what you're saying. I'm not crapping on Cobb.
19% owned.
Yeah.
No, 100%. Like sure, I just don't think. I don't know. I'd rather take a flyer on somebody who could step in and be more explosive. Like you said, Randall Cobb will get you.
Then he's not a leftover. He's owned.
Yeah, well, no, I know, but I'm not saying get Dobbs. I'm saying find somebody else. Like honestly, I'd rather roster DJ Dallas or Tevin Coleman than Randall Cobb. You know what I mean? Even if I needed a wide receiver, because there's at least an opportunity there where
he'll be
it
there.
could grow or be bigger.
He'll be there hanging around on the waiver wire. Don't worry. He'll be in the free agent pool for a while.
Gathering mold.
So I mean, I get what you're saying with Cobb. It looks good, but what you saw last week will not be the MO moving forward. Honestly, they literally are conversations happening right now about not doing that again, because it's like I'm telling you, like that's what's happening. Like
you're
the
fly on the wall. You're the fly on the wall now.
I can hear it. I know I got my little birdies, bro. But no, that formula is not going to work. I do think it shifts more towards the run. It has to. You can't have these running backs that are so good and not utilize them. We were looking it up.
A.J. Dillon is just
A.J. Dillon's very good, and I think as the season progresses, obviously winter is coming. Everybody says that for those thick boy running backs like Derrick Henry and A.J. Dillon.
Winter is coming. Yes,
winter is coming. It's going to happen, and you're going to get pounded by them. But I still think Aaron Jones, if you looked it up, and I know, Jacob, we were talking earlier this week, his yards per carry, leading the league yards per carry, and he's only getting like 11 rushes a game right now.
This is A.J. Dillon?
No, that's Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones leading the league in yards per carry. It's like 6+, but we're just not running it enough with him, because I think part of it is because they have A.J. Dillon too, so they do kind of split it, but I think skew a little more towards the guy who's being very efficient and then use A.J. Dillon a little more situationally. I think that we've already knew that they were the focus of the offense. It has to be them. And I think moving forward it will. They have no choice.
Shootouts and droughts we'll get to real quick. Obviously, the drought of the year. Bears and Commanders on Thursday, 35.5 is the point total. I don't think there's a point total low enough. I mean,
why do we have to watch this football?
The fantasy value?
You get paid to, unfortunately.
I know. Does it kill all fantasy value? Like, I have Curtis Samuel, and I'm just like, I know starting him in this game, I'm going to be like, why did I do it? At the end of the game, it's like 10-3. I'm going to be like, why did I start Curtis Samuel?
I'm starting Curtis Samuel. I'm starting Curtis Samuel with confidence.
You're a brave man.
I think he's.
Than me.
I'm just saying. I think again, very deep league. We're in 14 teams and we're starting 4 flexes. Curtis Samuel is like. I'm like, he's amazing. I'm happy to do that. But I do think this feels like one of those games that like everybody's down on, and if everybody's down on it, it's going to surprise you.
Yeah, it's up.
Right? I think that's just it could wind up being just a gross shootout. I don't know.
A gross shootout is still like 20 points, though, right?
Right. I'd be happy if they both scored 20. That's a dub. I think, if it hits the over, we're like elated. Even if it barely crosses the over, if it approaches the over, we're elated. I think it's going to be a good time. But yeah.
No, I mean, I put out a free pick for ours under 19.5, so I don't want it to go 20 on record. So I want to make sure I'm not conflicting on my stuff that we're doing here.
Oh, sure. 100%.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But no, I think that no, it's definitely right. I remember my awesome call about the Lions not being able to score against the Seahawks, and they scored. So there's definitely times where I never think it's going to be a shootout, and it does. And that I think everybody
you can't predict it. There's no way to predict it.
Yeah, everybody in the world thinks it's going to be an under. So like you said, it gets some magic stuff. But I mean, it's a Thursday night football game. Offensive line troubles like crazy for the Commanders. So I don't know. I don't see it being explosive like that.
Bills Chiefs is the offensive game of the year. I'm so excited for it. Bills, Ravens Bills, I think was the other one we hyped it up a couple weeks ago, but that underwhelmed with the rain, whatever, and they just kind of two dead offenses in the second half. But if you have a Chief or a Bill in this game, you're so excited they're going to go off.
Right. This is another one where you obviously left over Khalil Shakir, but like I'm starting Isaiah McKenzie, and I'm excited. Like even if they split, they split the third role in the offense, whatever. That's exciting to have a piece of this, right? I want to get in on this game.
3 other kind of middling games is Broncos, Chargers, Jets, Packers, and Vikings, Dolphins. Those are the next high point totals, so that those are not too much to get excited about in those. It's kind of been just a down scoring year offensively, which might be affecting tight ends, all sort of that. So
yeah, so you put a game out that says Broncos. I'm out, bro. I don't know. I don't want to watch it.
They don't. I mean, I've watched the Broncos.
You're so heavily invested in the Broncos too.
Yeah, so what's funny is draft season. I was with Russ, bro. I was like, let's ride, man. Broncos country. We're here. Every week I find myself selling another Broncos player. Just let me get him out of here. Judy's gone. Melvin Gordon got the starting job. Shipped him out. I'm like, anytime there's a sniff of value, see you later. Like that's where I'm at. And now I'm like on the fringe with Sutton, right? I don't want to sell Sutton. I think he's really good.
If you look at his stats, he's the only one doing good.
Right.
You gotta wait till the head coaching game. Then let them fire their head coach, and then maybe you'll have a better. I wouldn't just be selling all of them yet.
Right.
I don't know. And that Chargers
Justin's just a salesman. He loves trades.
Oh yeah. I'm always looking for a good deal, and I'm always looking to ship a Broncos turd to somebody else so they can hold it.
Leave it on their doorstep, flaming and stuff.
You know what's funny is the dude I sold both of them to, he has Russell Wilson, and I'm praying for him. He's now fully riding Broncos country. So
expect a big game for Eckler in that. They got not many linebackers. He should be able to run around and catch the ball effectively.
Eckler was 100% dude worthy this week.
He was.
We didn't crown him, but yeah,
super efficient too. He had like no rushes.
He's back on the scene.
100+ yards.
You heard what we were saying.
Yep.
Yeah. He listened to the podcast, which you know what he does mess around with fantasy. So yeah, he might have maybe
he does love fantasy.
Yeah, that's all I got for Shootout and Drought. It's not an overwhelming week.
Like I don't even want to say Jets Packers is going to be shootout. Like I can't even look at the Packers anymore and be like they're going to light it up. I just don't see it. Like the second half of football games, they just check out. Like you can pretty much count on whatever they do in the first half being the peak, and then it's just only a decline from halftime
against the Giants. You're right.
Yeah, you guys need to start playing
Giants, Bucks. They're horrible. Yeah, second half Packers is so gross.
Start playing decoy quarterback and just run the ball and do little wildcats and just forget about Aaron Rodgers
the trick is the trick is start betting the second half unders for the Packers games. All right, because 100% you're hitting those.
Absolutely.
So, all right. So, yeah, obviously, maybe next week we'll introduce a couple new segments. I know we want to mess around with. Hopefully, nothing crazy injury-wise happens, but some more injury-related segments coming at you next week. But anything else before we slide on out of here?
Get your Lions, Texans, Raiders, and Titans out of your lineup now.
Yeah, get them out of your lineup, but also get those Lions on your team. All right, that's
target
my
the Lions.
Target them.
But no, that's it. I guess that's
a good reminder.
Back it in. I don't know why you said reminder, and I wanted to say Ramondre. I don't know.
Same thing.
I don't know. All right.
Reminder
see you guys
Stevenson.
later. Reminder Stevenson. He's going to be good this week. Okay, see you later. Bye.